I think to start this off,
sorry. All right.
I want you to be James Cameron and give a pitch meeting to George Lucas and Roberto Benigni. And we'll give you our feedback.
Water. Earth. Fire. Jazz hands. Good?
I liked it.
Molto bene,
Okay, but it's
Lion
all
King?
motion. I'm moving, and you see me moving. You have to capture the motion, even the water and the fire.
James Cameron,
I made an island entirely with water on it when Jango Fett was fighting. Ewan McGregor's character, Obi-Wan Kenobi, who I established in 1977's
I feel like you understand everything I'm saying, and I don't know what you're saying.
No, neither of us know what he's saying. Something about cappuccino.
Life is beautiful.
Welcome to the Countdown Movie Show. We're so happy that you're here with us. We are celebrating all kinds of things, not the least of which is
Italians.
Who doesn't? And I am Italian, so thanks, guys. Thanks for celebrating me. I appreciate that. We're celebrating the holidays. If you're watching anything on the video stream, obviously you can see we're wearing some Santa hats. So happy holidays, everybody. Hope you're having a great season. We're also, this show, the Countdown Movie Show, celebrates our favorite movies, the sequels to our favorite movies. That's really what this show is about. I'm here with some of my best friends on the planet. My name is Sean Blodgett of Creative Motion Entertainment. Over there is
Paul Preston of the Movie Guys.
And I'm Justin Bowler of The World.
This episode is about Avatar, The Way of Water. The three of us had the awesome opportunity, thanks to Justin here, to watch the movie at his house on this lovely television. It was great. We had a great time. We brought some snacks, and I had an awesome time just watching the film. I really love this movie. I'm looking forward to our chat about it. And before we get into that, though, since it's the holidays is a great time to give back and to be a part of something bigger than yourself. And I'm going to ask Paul to talk about a foundation. Is it a foundation? That's not foundation. That's right.
Sure, it's a scholarship fund.
Okay, I'm going to ask Paul to talk about a scholarship fund that's really near and dear to him and all of us. So, Paul, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Well, my late wife, Karen Volpe, was a member of the Movie Guys team back when we were podcasting regularly. She passed away in 2019, and I immediately started a scholarship fund because she was from Western New York. And if you're in Western New York pursuing the arts, you need a nudge to think broad in your worldview. So she did that, was an actor for 20 years in LA, which, you know, when you think about the famous people that come out of Jamestown, New York, where she's from, Lucille Ball, Laura Keitlinger, who did a little time on SNL and continues to do stand-up today, and Karen. Like, there really aren't a lot of artists that come out of there that have been comedians, especially female, and these are all female comedians as well. So this is a scholarship that goes to a female comedian in that area of the world who wants to pursue something larger than what you could think you could do in that area of the world. So if you're listening to the podcast or seeing it even on YouTube, wherever the description is for this show, you know, you'll see all our social media hashtags. You'll see our website link. I'm also going to put a link in there to this scholarship fund. And it is a endowment fund, which means they will never not, if I may double negative you, they'll never not give out an award, because the award is the interest that the fund earns every year. So we'll never run out of money. Cool. We'll never run out of money. Someone's going to get like a grand every year.
That's incredible.
And the more you give, then the more that goes up. In fact, this year they wanted to do, because I asked a lot. There aren't a lot of people who want to pursue the arts in Western New York, it seems, who are female, you know, but those who are like, this is what I want. You know, you're not going to be on a track filled with a ton of people to support you. So this year, so it's been tough sometimes to find someone. The first winner won 2 years in a row, but great. And now she's a stage manager at Walt Disney World. at the
my
Magic
gosh,
Kingdom.
for her.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Good
That's
for
so
her.
cool. I didn't hear that
That's very
story.
cool.
Oh my gosh, I love
so
that.
That's really cool. After a little time at Legoland, so she's
Wow.
doing great. And the others are kind of still in school, and this year they're giving it to 2 people because I've never had an embarrassment of riches of people who qualify for this with my kind of rigid structure. It's not just great grades and good attitude and you get the money. No, you have to like be in Western New York, want to pursue the arts, and so it's a little more tough to fit the requirements, but there were 2 this year, so we're giving away 2. We're going to split the award
Is there
in
like
half.
an application process? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's something called the Chautauqua Regency Community Foundation. Chautauqua Regency.
Sounds like a lovely
They're a
hotel.
country. They're
Don't
a country.
worry, everybody. The URL will be in the copy for the.
CRCF. They handle scholarships all through that area of the state. So yeah, I'm happy that this one's in there. And so if you want to give, anything helps. Again, it just grows the fund, so more can be given away each year.
That's
very
awesome.
cool.
That's awesome. I totally celebrate that. Thank you for sharing that. And please go out there, go to the link, and give whatever you can. It's a great thing, and I love that it keeps on going. That's awesome. Let's start, as we often do on this show, with a synopsis. Now, here to give us that synopsis is the wonderfully talented Justin Bowler. So, Justin, go ahead and give us the synopsis of Avatar: The Way of Water.
I can do that.
Let me provide some sound effects here.
Can I get some hold music before we get...
Oh, we're not doing the sound effects for it.
All right, I'm ready. Okay, I've got a synopsis. Avatar: The Way of Water follows Jake Sully and Neytiri's family who flee the forest home. Well, we're not there yet. No, it's got to be like mountains and stuff right now. Okay. Yes. Avatar: The Way of Water follows Jake Sully and Neytiri's family who flee their forest home on Pandora after the RDA return to colonize, bringing a reincarnated, revenge-seeking Colonel Quaritch as an avatar. The Sully family seeks refuge in the reef-dwelling Metkayina clan, where they must learn the way of water, adapting to a new aquatic life while being hunted by Quaritch, leading to a final intense confrontation centered on family, survival, and protecting Pandora's natural wonders.
That's what we saw. Yeah, you're
That's
right.
what we saw.
Nailed it.
Yeah, that was perfect. That was perfect. As I mentioned at the start of this show, I just enjoyed this so much. I had no idea, and I never saw this movie. And as I was, watching my behind the scenes stuff that I always do, I'm like, gosh, this is just what a joy this is. And some of the behind the scenes stuff that came up, the actors in this, I mean, I don't know if it's a show or what, but man, they just seem like they care about each other.
Oh, yeah.
They care about James Cameron. I mean, it's very clear that people like working with James Cameron. I mean, he's got several cast members from other movies and things, and they keep coming back. And of course, these people keep coming back again. And it's like, yeah, I mean, it reminds me of us. It reminds me of friends we know, right? It's just a bigger budget level.
Yeah.
But it's
Just a little bit.
just a little bit by like a couple bucks, like $20 or something. But it reminds me of that, right? Like at the end of the day, like we want to tell these stories, we want to do these projects, we want to do this cool stuff, but we want to do it with people that we love, with people that we care about, and it makes it so much more fun, so much better.
Oh, yeah.
And then when they get out there and they're like talking about it, doing a press tour and stuff, they're so excited to just be there and actually sharing it with people. I just thought the whole thing's beautiful, and I just celebrate these movies. I'm so excited.
Yeah, that's quite a call when Sigourney Weaver says, like, this is some of the most moving stuff she's worked on with a career as long as hers.
Right?
45 years or more. Yeah.
And with so much CG. And I think that again, James Cameron needs to be applauded for his cinematic and artistic craftsmanship that he understands how to work with actors. He understands how to work with technology, and continue to push it. So I mean, we'll get into all more details of all of the Way of Water, because the water, nobody had ever done motion capture in the water. I mean, and anyway, so I'll let other people continue.
Before we dive too much into this, I want to play what we recorded before we watched the movie.
Oh, okay. I totally forgot we even had that. By the way, we're not sure if you're going to hear this, but where we're recording today is in Justin's home. And for whatever reason, we're getting a signal from, I think it's an EMT.
I think so.
And so if you do hear that, we're sorry about that. We've tried to turn it off and we can't seem to get rid of it.
Right.
So if you hear it, just drown it out. Just pretend like there's like stuff going on. I don't know. Use your imagination.
Yeah, exactly. And hope that person is okay. Because we heard something about surgery earlier.
I think it was just like a hand surgery. So I think they're going to be okay. I think they're going to be okay.
Yeah. Good. All right. Well, let's take a listen to what we recorded before we saw the movie.
Or you can hold it up to yours, I guess.
Okay, this is Justin and Sean and Paul, and we're getting ready to watch Avatar: The Way of Water.
Yeah.
I've never seen this movie.
So I haven't seen it either. My biggest fear, and I hope it's not completely true, my biggest fear is that it's a sequel that's going to be exactly like the first one.
More unobtainium?
More unobtainium. The humans are going to come in, try to take over.
Giovanni Ribisi, he's going to be in a scuba diving suit?
Yeah, I think all of that may be happening. I don't know. But I'm guessing that maybe they get married, like they're married and they have kids, because they already got married, right? The first one, they're basically married.
You want to know something wild? I don't even know that they're in this, either of them.
No,
I've never even seen this. Yeah, I've never even seen a trailer for this.
You know what's funny?
I did, I didn't remember.
I don't know if I've seen a trailer. But you've seen this one, right?
I did.
Yeah.
So we're going to go see the new one.
Oh, all right.
Chinese theater.
All right.
That makes it epic.
What are you excited about for us to see tonight?
It's 2 acts of movie and 3rd act of Cameron action.
Okay. But wait, that's similar to the other one, right?
I'm here for that.
Dude delivers it like nobody else. He just doesn't do it often enough.
Yeah.
And the fact that there was like 14 years between these movies and only like 4 between that one and the new one we're going to see is great.
Yeah.
Cameron action movie, like chaos. It's just great.
All right. Okay. We're going to watch it.
Remember how that first one was? It was just vintage Cameron.
Yeah.
More of same in the 3rd act here.
All right.
I'm excited.
We'll be back.
Hey, let's go.
All right. What I loved most about that is you could hear the absurd amount of munchies that we had in the room to eat. Like it was like there's clearly there's chips, there's bags of chips there. There's at one point you even hear Sean eating nuts and going like, oh yeah, my fat. My takeaway from that was like we had a lot of munchies when we were getting ready to watch this movie.
I think both Paul and I, because you provided some munchies, but then Paul and I we brought some stuff as well. We brought a bunch of stuff, but I think the spirit of it was
the way of Wonka. Is what it was.
It really was.
I think the spirit of it was that we wanted it to feel like we were at the movies, and I did. I felt like it added a little bit more of that movie feel, right? Because it's such an experience. This movie is absolutely an experience, and great filmmaking because it was super long, and I didn't feel like, oh my God, can we move it
There was
along?
only one point that I felt like that.
Oh yeah, I know. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
What I was shocked by was it made like $2 billion, and you'll get to that. But how does it make that, and you don't even know anything about it? Where were you?
Hey, you know what? Oh wait, no, I won't talk about
this. This is what we keep talking about, though, is who obviously people are watching these movies. Obviously these people these movies are loved, and they should be loved because they're awesome.
Right, they're great.
But where, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how these are all getting watched, because I didn't even think about it. Like I remember when this one came out, I went I don't know.
Yeah,
I literally remember that, and I'm sorry, James Cameron. I shouldn't have been that way. I should have been more open-minded. But Yeah, it's surprising. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, it was released on December 14th, 2022, starring Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, Kate Winslet, Sigourney Weaver, Cliff Curtis.
By the way, had no idea that was Kate Winslet. I didn't know that at all.
Not only did I not know that was Kate Winslet, we watched that entire film, and it wasn't until I did prep for this show that I realized Sigourney Weaver plays the daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Literally plays the daughter.
I didn't realize that until I was watching the behind the scenes, and I went, wait, what?
Yeah. What?
I was like, oh, I had no
Sigourney
idea.
Weaver plays her own. I was like, this is insane.
Yeah. And by the way, did you know she's like 72 when
Yes.
she played it?
Yeah.
And first of all, she looks gorgeous.
Of course.
72.
No,
and you're
she's
like,
always looked
oh
awesome.
my God.
Well, no, that was a computer generated Avatar
I'm
character.
not talking about I'm just saying, at 72, she looks amazing. And then on top of it, all the work they did for like the breath work and all that to be able to do these like long dives and all that stuff. I mean, it's mind-boggling.
Yeah,
Absolutely mind-boggling.
We'll get specifically to that. Let me throw out a few more of these.
Go ahead.
Opening weekend domestic, 134 million. Good, but wouldn't you think domestically it would be even larger than that, considering this goes on to be the second biggest
I don't
film
think
of all
so.
time?
I don't think so, because I think 134 million is a massive
It's
opening.
pretty big.
That is a massive opening for an opening domestic weekend. Usually you don't hit that number until you include your worldwide.
Yeah, for some, certainly.
So I mean, we're talking about an opening weekend. I think that's a massive number, especially for a sequel.
Yeah. And also during the busy season, December 14th. You know, everybody's getting ready for Christmas, all that good stuff.
Speaking of Christmas,
Yeah.
I had this question come up for me, which, the EMTs are talking to us right now.
They sure are.
I had this question come up for me. He got something last week.
For Christmas.
No, I had this question come up for me. Were there toys?
Were there Avatar toys?
Yeah.
I thought you meant in the world. I'm like a stick and a hoop.
Yeah, I'm sure there was a stick and a hoop. But
They went fishing.
doll?
yeah, but were there toys? Because I
can
feel
only
like
imagine with all of the vehicles that they made.
that's
I
what
can
I'm saying.
only
Like
imagine
when
there
I
were
was a
toys.
kid, I think I would have been like I would have adored this film, and I'm sure I would have had the toys and stuff. And I'm watching the movie, going, "Gosh, there has to have been some kind of toys and some kind
Toys,
of like
animals. Yes, I can only.
But
imagine
I just
there
don't
was
know.
everything.
I don't remember seeing that stuff. I mean,
Are
obviously
you
my kids are
buying
older
toys
now.
for, you know?
No, not now.
Okay.
But
There's your answer.
But this movie was what year?
2022.
So yeah, I mean, again, my kids didn't watch it, so no, I guess I didn't.
Okay. I mean that.
Yeah.
There goes your answer.
Yeah.
You know, can you tell me which female talk show host that is specifically for, or which podcast out there for teenage girls? No, that's a bad one. How about podcast out there for elderly Hispanic women is number one?
None of this is a good idea.
because you don't have any. You're not in that world. So why would you? Was my point.
I mean,
But maybe he was just wandering around the toy aisle in various Targets.
I'm not going to lie. Look, I'm not going to lie.
recommended, dude.
I do enjoy looking at toys at Target because when I was a kid, one of my fondest memories, I'm gonna completely digress for a second here, because we're talking about toys. But one of my fondest memories as a young kid was once a week, my mom would take me to our local toy store, which was sort of a little hole in the wall place, but they had, of course, Star Wars action figures, and I was allowed to buy one every week. Maybe not every week, but most weeks it was like, end of the week kind of thing, like good job, whatever. I don't know, but I have fond memories. I think our generation loved toys more than any other generation so far.
I've just parted with some.
Did you?
I mean, and I still have some others.
Yeah. I still have some of my Star Wars toys in the garage. But anyways, like I said, I completely digress. I apologize. I derailed us. Go on. Opening weekend, 134, go.
Domestically, it ended up making 688 million. Internationally, 1.655 billion for a total.
Hold on. Wait, domestically was what?
688.
That is huge. That is huge domestically.
Yeah, I mean, that's big domestically.
You keep saying like it's not big. I feel like that is enormous.
I feel like the majority of their audience is obviously international. This
Okay, what's the other
huge,
side?
1.655 billion internationally, which is going to be mostly China, right?
Also Korea, because they did do a huge opening in Korea.
So it's like, you look at that. I don't know.
So maybe just
I think
the
it goes
Asian
back
market.
to your question of like who is watching this movie. The people that I think that are mostly watching this movie are in other countries.
Oh.
Which may be where the
Okay.
toys were, and that's why you didn't see them in Target.
I mean, all of this is answering so many questions, which, by the way, for our audience, is all what this podcast is about. Answering questions that you never even knew you had.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry we had to revisit you getting escorted out of Target and other. But
Yeah, me too.
I'm looking at toys.
All right. Came out in 2022. Now, it's interesting because I tried to look this up like I had for Raiders of the Lost Ark. We were able to see how much Raiders made the year it was released, but also the year that it made all the money, right? I tried to look that up for this. I could not. So all I have are the totals for movies that were released in 2022. Okay?
Right.
So obviously, Avatar made the most amount of money of any movie that was released in 2022, whether it made all that money in 2.5 weeks or in 2023. But let's go to, I want you to see if you can name 5 or 6 that are in the top 15. And also, number 15, by the way, blows my mind because I just hated this movie so much. We have ragged on this movie so much.
Oh my.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Man.
It was number 15.
Okay.
You know?
I'm never good at this game. The knowing the years of movies that they came out, I don't know any of this.
This is where Paul shines.
Yeah.
All right, Paul,
So go ahead, Paul. Take it away. Take it away.
recent ones kind of blend together. The recent years, I don't know.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go for that number 15. What is the superhero movie that we have disliked nonstop that just doesn't make sense? They took a major star, they threw him into a cinematic universe, and all of a sudden we just got crap.
Black Adam.
Black Adam, number 15. It made $393 million worldwide.
What was the budget on that? Do we
On
know?
Black Adam, I don't know.
Probably about that.
Yeah.
Probably
Wouldn't
about
be shocked
it. Yeah.
if it was 150 and then 150 for marketing.
Yeah.
Was the Black Adam, because I never saw that film, was that a hero from comics or was that a made up character?
No, it's a hero from comics, but he's kind of an anti-hero. Sometimes he fights against Superman, sometimes he fights with Superman. It's, he's very, what is the word? Temperamental, if you will.
Got it.
Yeah.
And why did you guys, because I didn't see the film, so I'm just going to ask, I know we rag on it a lot on this show, but like what is it about that movie that you guys dislike so much?
For me, it's like there are so many points that they're like, this is clearly supposed to be a big emotional moment, but I just don't give two shits about this character or what they're going through. So yeah, okay. Are we supposed to think that he's about to die? Because I don't think he is.
So, okay.
We have 2 hours left.
Did you feel the same way?
My thing was that if you look at one of the most streamlined scripts of all time, Raiders of the Lost Ark, my favorite movie,
Right.
We learn who Indiana Jones is in a cave. The military men come, say this is what you got to do, and we spend 2 hours doing it.
Right, and we know who our bad guys are.
Right.
And
in Black Adam, they keep introducing things that we didn't know.
No.
And they're not like, ooh, a fun surprise. It's like, oh, did you know he meant to die so he could go to the underworld and like get all these
right.
demons
What?
together? It's
He
like
did? Yeah, he meant to do that. So the battle's not over.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see what he just picked up? Because we killed him, right? Oh no, he picked up that crystal. That crystal now means that he has even more power.
Oh yeah,
it does.
It does?
Yeah. Oh
What?
yeah.
I
This
don't
is a
remember the
crystal.
military men coming in and telling me about that at the
That's
beginning of Black
interesting.
Adam.
Like it's just they do it 4 or 5 times and you just go, I don't know where this movie is going. I don't know. I don't care.
And if you saw Thunderbolts, spoiler, it ended in a hug. All DC movies end in way too much CGI nonsense.
Isn't
and
that
this
interesting?
is just as guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Let's see. Okay. I will give you some hints to get you thinking about movies that were out at this time.
By the way, I want to say
2022.
real quick, since we talked about that, one of the things that you just said was, you didn't care about them. And that is one of the things that James Cameron does so great in The Way of Water is, boy, do you care about these characters.
Every single character.
Yeah.
Every single character.
And there's a
Absolutely.
lot to juggle. He didn't make it easy
my
for
gosh,
himself.
right?
Yeah.
Even new characters where
Yeah.
you're like, oh my, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, except Spider, but go ahead.
Yeah. Poor Spider.
Well,
all right.
I mean, yeah.
Number 15 was Black Adam. Number 1 was Avatar: Way of Water. Pick a number, and I'll give you what it was.
Number 6.
Number 6.
Are we getting a hint, or are you telling us what it is?
Give us a hint. Give us a hint.
Okay. Number 6 was MCU sequel. One of the biggest MCU sequels. Or rather, the sequel to one of the biggest MCU films.
Wakanda Forever?
Wakanda Forever. That is correct. Number 6. There is a sequel that is in there that is even at number 4, though, from the MCU. Same year.
That's not Far From Home, is it?
No.
Or No Way Home? Sorry. No Way Home.
No, but you're on the right track almost.
What?
Hey.
I've only rewatched this movie once. I should rewatch it more because I think it's a better movie than I give it credit for.
Another hint.
Is it Doctor Strange?
It is Doctor Strange. I'm like, what's the hint? Magic? All the characters were in other...
I know you guys like this film. I do not. I like aspects of this film. I just don't love this film. For me, the CG falls off the cliff. There's just so much stuff in there that I just don't believe, I don't buy, and I don't enjoy. Yeah.
I don't know. It's like I look at how difficult this movie is to make. How do you make a magic battle interesting?
Yeah, I mean, I get that. You're right about that.
An evil version of himself, and they're throwing notes at each other through sound. Yeah. I was like, this is spectacular. This is crazy. That's
later in the film.
Yeah.
I'm more talking about the early stuff with, wasn't it like an eye attached to like a building or something, or I don't know,
No, there's the octopus eye.
Yeah.
I saw that
from the comics.
Are
you going to be upset that there's a guy in blue who wears underwear on the outside of his pants and flies around?
A little bit. No, I'm joking.
No, I love that movie from the get-go, and I saw it a second time just for pleasure.
Yeah.
It was great.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to watch that movie again because I feel like I have to give it another chance.
Get into Christian Bale's character because it's tragic, and I thought it was really well played, in that respect. He's a villain, but he's tortured, and he's doesn't know how else to manifest his rage except in a way that needs to be stopped.
Well, he's a truly humanized villain, which is the best kind of villain for sure.
Yeah, the
black and white sequence. No, sorry. Yeah. I've gone into Thor: Love and Thunder.
You sure have.
Cut this all out.
I was totally about to clarify by trying to make
Thor,
a joke.
Love and Thunder. Never mind.
Which I also will defend to the end.
No, you stand alone on Thor: Love and Thunder.
Let me go back.
Okay.
I don't think so. I haven't seen the whole thing, but what I saw of it, I really
Christian Bale is the
enjoyed
best part of it. There's, I don't know, they were all over the place.
That movie's
It was
great.
not a good follow-up to Ragnarok, which has an absurd amount of rewatchability. God,
I thought it had the exact same comedic tone. But, okay, so Susan, my wife of all things, has summed up Marvel movies well. And I look for this now when I go to see a movie. She said,
so excited.
They focus in on one human truth and explore it. And in Love and Thunder, it would be choosing love. They talk about that a bunch of times in the movie. In Doctor Strange, it was, are you happy?
Are you happy?
They bring it up numerous times.
Several times.
And so that's really what the whole movie is about.
Yeah.
And Wanda, of course, is severely unhappy.
Yes.
Like, tragically unhappy. And I thought her whole arc from hero to PTSD to the villain to tragic villain over a number of movies was fascinating to watch.
I will agree with that, but I didn't want her to finally be the villain for only half a movie. My biggest problem with that film was Wanda should have been our big bad for 2 or 3 movies. Whatever ends up happening to her, like don't throw away everything that she's done with just half a film of her being bad.
Yeah, but I mean, she had an entire series.
I know, but it wasn't an entire series of her being, awful. She finally turns bad, and it's just like...
I mean, technically, it was an entire series of her being awful.
Well, I guess technically when it comes down to it. I don't know. For me, it's just like, I wanted so much more. I felt like they shortchanged Wanda. I was like, you should have given her 2 or 3 movies where she's our bad.
Most people say they don't have enough female heroines who are amazing, and then they turned this one a villain, and that was an injustice to her character. And I think that most people would not want it to go on longer. I thought it was just fine. She sees a world where she is happy, where she currently is not, and she will do whatever it takes, including hurting as many people as possible to get there. Fascinating. And of course, Cumberbatch is just brilliant in that role.
What do you guys think of Avatar: The Way of Water?
Oh, hey. I mean, we could talk about that, or we could talk about toys in the toy aisle.
Okay, all right.
Go back to this.
We have 12 more
upfront.
top 15
We've got
to
12
get
more.
through.
Okay, number 10 was Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. Number 9
Pretty good.
was Watergate Bridge.
What the heck is that?
Don't even know what it is. Number 8, Thor, Love and Thunder.
I'm sorry, what?
Watergate Bridge.
I have no idea what that is.
Well, this is the reason why we
That's
don't
not
know what it
domestic.
is. Domestically, it made $117,000.
Oh, okay.
Worldwide, it made $626 million.
I forgot
I'm
we're
guessing
worldwide.
that's the English title.
Yeah, I forgot we're worldwide. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Number 7, The Batman. Number 6,
What
Black
do you guys
Panther.
think about that movie?
I have, I don't remember it.
I saw it and I went, this is way too realistic. I had problems with it. I didn't like it. I thought now the spinoff of the Penguin, that series was one of the best series I've seen in the past 5 to 10 years.
Oh, wow.
The HBO series that they
Enjoyed
did
that.
was spectacular.
And Farrell's great in the film, too.
Yes.
The Batman, for me, first of all, he kind of failed. It just ends in a big flood that
Right.
he didn't win in a way.
Yeah.
You know, so that's no fun. But I did dig seeing him be a detective. He is from Detective Comics. And he would walk into a crime scene and look at things, and you got the idea that he knew what was going on before
Right.
the cops even did. And that was kind of cool. And instead of being all brawn. But overall,
I like that they
it didn't-
attempted that, but I didn't see him be a great detective.
Because doesn't he fail at discovering anything?
Well, I think he only solves 1 out of the 4 riddles, right?
See, I forget.
Yeah.
I think
That's a problem for the
he only
movie.
solves 1 out of the 4 riddles. So I don't know. Yeah, and it's
Sit
also
tight,
all over
everybody.
the
Sit
place.
tight. We are going to get to Avatar,
We
The
will.
Way of Water.
Coming up.
Number
It's my fault. That was my
4,
fault.
Doctor Strange. Number 3, Jurassic World. Number 2, the movie that saved movie theaters.
That's not the first Jurassic World, right?
No, it's Dominion.
Top Gun.
Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, yeah.
Top Gun Maverick came in, made $1.5 billion, and then Avatar blew it out of the water with 2.3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because what happens is everyone wants to go see it in 3D and in IMAX. And so those fill up. And so it'll mean Avatar has legs.
Yeah.
you know?
Right.
So that,
I'll be
that
honest.
helps.
I wish I could have seen this in 3D.
Yeah, me
this was
too.
a spectacular
Yeah.
film. It felt.
Avatar: The Way of Water? Let's
Yeah.
talk about it.
We should. James Cameron originally only wanted 2 sequels to Avatar, and then he decided there should be 4. Unless they make a lot of money, well, okay. Then we'll make 4. If they don't make any money, we're only going to do 2. Fire and Ash is 2025. Avatar 4 will be released 2029. Avatar 5 will be released 2031.
Oh, there's going to be a 5th one now?
4th
gonna
and
be,
5th.
And he'll be in his 80s.
He'll be in
right?
his 80s. Parts of Avatar 4 have already been filmed because he was worried about the kids aging.
And he should be.
So he wanted to do them all back to back.
I mean, that's what happens.
Yeah. The film arrived 13 years after the original Avatar, even though it was immediately greenlit.
Wow.
But part of it was Cameron said, we need to invent some new technology because I want to do this underwater. And they just don't have a camera for that. They don't have all the technology. We have a lot of problems to solve, so we can't do it that quickly.
Yeah.
He continually invents ways to do what he wants. And that's great for the industry. I want to do this. Can't do it. Find a way, make
Find
it
a
happen,
way.
build the thing. And now we have the thing.
Necessity is the mother of invention, my friend.
Because of the Abyss, because of T2, all these Titanic, all these things were developing stuff that was groundbreaking. And I was just amazed to hear you say 2022 because I kind of forgot which year it was.
Right.
But, so wait, we can crank one of these out in 3 years and we waited 17 previously?
Well, if you film them back to back, yeah.
Well, also, too, if you've developed the technology. Because now I think the majority of the technology, majority of the filming, because it's not just the technology, it's the techniques with the technology.
He had to figure out how they could do motion capture in water for Fire and Ash. He has to figure out A, how to film it, and B, how to do motion capture in fire. Right? Am I off on this?
I'm pretty
and
sure
water.
that is
They'll still live in the reef. So,
What's crazy is the next one. It's just called Avatar. Avatar.
What's it called, Justin?
It's just. It's not that funny. It's not.
I'm prepared for that.
It's just called. It's called Avatar Vomit and Poop.
Vomit and poop.
You have to figure out how they can do motion capture inside someone's gut and inside their colon.
Nothing about that is even.
Which hasn't been done, to your point.
Which has never been done.
Oh,
So they got to create that. I mean, first you got to figure out how to make someone small, and then. Was it?
Oh, God help
Other
us.
pre-production.
Well, the point is, now we get one of these every 4 years, and with the technology, and
Yeah,
but he's
yeah,
still
yeah.
going to build new stuff, and you know that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I'm glad
right.
to see that they're going to come more frequently.
Due to the extensive underwater performance capture, which they had to do for this movie, cast members, many of them, actually became certified free divers.
Right.
Which means you go under the water. They didn't use any scuba equipment for this.
Right.
Because they didn't want bubbles in the water. It screws up the motion capture, which we'll also get to later about how they did it. I'm sure you did extensive research there, Sean.
I did a
But
little bit,
everyone
but-
had to go underwater holding their breath, including 70-something-year-old Sigourney Weaver. Which is just crazy to me. Kate Winslet's personal best was 7 minutes and 14 seconds.
I did hear about
Yeah,
that.
I heard about that too.
That's
That's-
not
Yeah.
just sitting
That's
underwater.
crazy.
No.
That is doing stuff
Yeah.
underwater.
The one behind the scenes
Pregnant.
moment that really
Pregnant.
Right, yes, exactly. One of the other ones that blew me away is the fight scene underwater.
Yes.
So you're up top, you do your breath exercise, you hold your breath, you go down,
Yeah.
and they're like whatever their sign is for action, right? And now you're doing a fight scene,
Yeah.
and I was just like, what?
Yes. Lang specifically talked about this. He said, listen, I can sit underwater and hold my breath for honestly about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But once you're fighting and Worthington's coming at me with a knife, he's like, okay, now we're at about 90 seconds tops.
Right.
Yeah. It absolutely crazy.
Can't imagine. I can't. It makes me. I mean, it's also nerve wracking. I mean, you're putting these actors' lives at risk.
Well, you heard about
literally.
The Abyss, right? Ed Harris is still pissed about having to swim underwater for an extensive period of time between two. There was a plot point where he had to get from one area to another, and he did not see the scuba guys around him as quickly as he would have liked.
Oh, really?
To get him when he signaled, okay, that's the end of my breath, you know.
Wow,
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really scary. I mean, I obviously think that Cameron maybe learned some lessons through that because, he really made sure that these folks had the training that they needed to feel confident. Because I didn't get the sense from any of the actors that they were upset about it, that there was ever a negative,
right?
Like, oh my God, I had a close call one time, and and maybe they did, and they just not allowed to talk about that. But they seem to have a positive sense of all of it.
Yeah,
it was a Navy SEAL who trained them. Yeah.
Okay. Kate Winslet returned, reuniting with James Cameron. Hadn't worked with him since 1997.
And
did we talk about that, or did I just think about that on a previous show? That the people keep returning.
Yeah.
Winslet, Weaver.
Yeah.
The likes of Schwarzenegger,
Stephen Lang.
Stephen Lang. Plenty of people in this franchise. When they don't have to come back, just paint over me with somebody else, But and then throughout his career, they just return. Bill Paxton,
By the way, I thought it was interesting. This is sort of an aside. I agree with that, and that is cool. Did you notice that? So the water people on Pandora are green, and then in the last episode we talked about originally they wanted to maybe make them green, but they went with blue. So now they went with the water.
Well, they were certainly more. Yeah, they were certainly greenish.
Yeah.
Compared to them, absolutely. Yeah, to make them.
But to your point of the reuniting with people, it is interesting. I also thought to myself, he didn't necessarily have to have Sigourney Weaver come back and obviously play a 14-year-old, her child. I didn't quite understand that storyline though, by the way. So maybe you guys can clarify that one for me. I got there were a few little storylines in here that I kind of went over my head a little bit. And I'm like, I don't know if I understand how that connection happened, but.
Well, so it's like the science of, Colonel Quaritch, we put all your all your brains and thoughts and memories in this thing. And so we'll just put it in an avatar. It's kind of the same thing. I think all of her essence went into the earth at Pandora, right? And then birthed forward the child that would then
Who
had
birthed
her.
the child, though?
The world?
Yep.
Is that
As
right?
a representative of the
science?
world, I can say it was the world.
You know what?
Stephen Lang reprised his role as the main antagonist, Colonel Miles Quaritch, the Na'vi avatar with the original Colonel's memories. Lang had been told by James Cameron about the character's return shortly after the first film's release. That was one of those where he was like, nah, we're going to bring you back. We're not going to kill you off, because he liked him so much, liked working with him so much.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was a good storyline. I actually think this script was... I think it's my favorite James Cameron script. At the tail end, you see that he wrote this screenplay with several others. And I think that was helpful for him.
Yeah.
Because sometimes he's really great at story, and he's really great at the overarching, like where are we going and all of that stuff. Sometimes his dialogue falls off a little bit. And I think these folks really did a good job of keeping that focused, and maybe that's part of what they added. I don't really know, but I did like the script.
Yeah. The spider, the human adopted
We
son.
got to address. I want to say this correctly about Grace.
Okay.
So I'll pretend I looked it up.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I had to look this up because I wasn't sure. I'm like you. I was a little confused. Grace's avatar gives birth to her daughter after her human body, of course, died and was returned to the earth. But there's a mysteriousness as to how that happened, which makes her character spiritually mysterious as well, more connected to the earth.
And she mentioned she doesn't know who her father is. And there's the teasing of like, look at that. It was a much younger guy. Look at the way he looks at her. He obviously was hitting that.
So who was the father?
That's what we just said. She was kind of immaculately conceived.
Okay. That was not superbly clear to me in the movie.
I mean, they did really just throw those aside. So like, let's go along with it. Quaritch, you're in a file now, and we'll download you into an avatar. And Grace, your human body died, but we can give birth to your daughter through your avatar, and then the Earth will fill that character with some sort of mysterious spirituality.
Or do we find out all the answers to this in 3, 4, and 5?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like they had to get past that to get on to new stuff.
I
Here's
mean,
the setup.
I
Go
agree.
with it.
And I just want to say Sigourney Weaver does an amazing job playing
did
this
spectacular.
young. I would have never. Like I said, I didn't even know it was her. I had no idea.
I didn't know until I actually did this research prepping for the show, and I went, oh my God. Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't watch the credits because there was too much to eat, Paul. What were you going to say, Paul?
I was to say, you can go back to your other thing now. I wanted to get that fact right. I didn't want to be wrong about that on the show.
It's fine. Miles, quote, Spider Socorro, the son of Colonel Quaritch, was played by Jack Champion, who was the only main cast member to perform his role primarily live action and not motion capture.
I mean, that's true. He's the only human.
The fact that they were able to literally capture those images of him and use those alongside motion capture and then basically CG created. I mean, that is an astounding accomplishment.
Yeah. James Cameron also said on the casting of Edie Falco, he said, when it comes down to it, Avatar 2 is a family story. Just like The Sopranos is a family story, which I thought was kind of fun.
Did not expect that casting to work, but she did a great job.
She did a great job.
Yeah.
Wait, who is she?
You expect she's the new general.
Oh, the general.
You expect her. You expect Edie Falco to come in and take over and be, just. It's all about her. Like you expect her to be larger than the film, and she fit right in there. And she wasn't too much, and she wasn't too little. She was just perfect.
I will say I did not love the moment when she meets the Avatar guy, the Colonel guy, whatever, and she's like drinking coffee, but with the arm
instead of her hand.
I just was like, I don't think this is necessary. I don't know.
When that happened on screen, and maybe we should just jump into the movie because that's kind of the beginning point. When that happens on screen, I remember thinking that's a weird choice, but then also what happens if she doesn't use that? If she uses her real hand, then the other arm keeps going over her head and hitting whatever is up there, right?
I suppose that's true.
So
I mean,
it's
she
like
can't
you
hit
have
pause,
to.
like pull her arm out and take a zip.
Yeah,
back
I
into the
feel like no.
contraption.
I once I really thought about it, I went, I guess I do stand by this decision.
Right.
Once again, like, okay, I don't stand by this decision, but learning that unobtainium is a real thing that they, as a real term they use.
Right.
I still wouldn't have gone with it, but
right.
it justifies it, I guess.
Yeah. Question mark. ...
Yeah. We want to jump into an in-depth synopsis, or who has notes about the actual movie?
I mean, I'm just going off of my cuff
notes
here, so
yes.
I'm going off the cuff. There's a lot to unpack with this. First of all, I do love that this movie is about family. They talk about in the behind the scenes. James Cameron basically says, like, well, it's not like I can tell the actors, like, hey, go out there, find somebody, fall in love with them, go have some kids, and then we'll come back and make this movie.
Yeah.
But that's basically what happened. Both of the lead actors went off and got married and had kids, and I think they were able to use that reference in making this movie. They really made it very personal. There's so much of that beauty and joy of what it is to be a parent in this film, and they really focus on that, and they really set that up really, really well, so that you are like, yeah, like, how is he going to save his family and kind of fix this terrible situation that he really can't, right? Like we know. So they did a good job with that. And that part was really, really beautiful. And the fact that we spend a fair amount of time in the forest, right? Like, it's about 45 minutes in the forest, something like that. So, I mean, we're there for a while. I like that they set up that they were happy. I like that they set up that their life was happy. They were joyful.
Positive.
Yeah, I like that. When the Sky People come back, and it's just like mass chaos right out of the gate. There's no heads up. There's no, they start to kind of land. Like, it's just like right out of the gate, they're destroying everything that they've sort of rebuilt since these Jerkamos have gone away. I feel like that happens, and it's just like, man, we're on to Paul's point, like we're on the adventure now. We're on the journey. Where is this going to land? Yeah, I don't really know. So I also felt like it was interesting to have this journey of them getting to, well, where are we going to go? Like, where can we even go to save our family? I don't know. Like, we can't stay here because clearly they're hunting us, And I guess there's another part of me that's did I don't know, this is like a weird argument, but like, did they need to hunt them? Like, could they, they had all that technology if they're just blowing stuff up, like, I don't know.
I think they did need to hunt them. I mean, we established in the first movie that a lot of their stuff doesn't work once they get up around.
Right, you're right about
floating
that.
island. So they know there's interference there. I did find it interesting, and Paul will hate this. I did find it interesting that now that Jake has kids, he's no longer let's stand and fight. His response is, we have to run. And I'm going to take this back to my whole life. I've had the recurring dream of I'm in the zombie apocalypse because I've always thought that's kind of cool. I've always been fascinated with the zombie apocalypse.
I don't know. That's cool a really interesting recurring dream. I've never had.
I really have had it.
I've had the flying dream, but
I have always fought. I've always prepared and fought. And after I had a child, the first time I had that dream, it wasn't about fighting. It was about running. Which I just found kind of odd.
But how about this, though? The kids in Avatar, The Way of Water, never do anything their dad tells them to do.
That's real life.
You got to do this, do that, do this, and then they just do whatever.
Was that an accent you did just
I did a little Australian, Sam Worthington in Navi Australian.
Okay.
Did you like the kids in this one, Paul? Because I know sometimes you don't like the kids' stories, I feel like.
Not entirely. In fact, I had a talk with my friend Brian, and I said, he said, did you like Way of Water? I said, I did. I didn't really like the family so much. Oh, then you didn't like the movie. Oh, maybe I didn't. I don't know. I'll watch it again.
That's hilarious.
That's
but
really
watching
funny.
it now, no, I liked it. I mean, Cameron loves to put kids in danger, dating back to Newt that we don't care about as much as I like the adults doing stuff,
This is what I found interesting.
But I understand it. I tap into the idea of family and the whole thing. They never did anything he told them to do. And that drives me crazy as as a not parent.
Which is why you hate kids, because that is real life.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
One thing that I kind of found fascinating about this was, this film was very much, for a decent portion of the film, was a handing of the torch. We're handing it off to the kids. There is so much of this story that is, if not this child, then this child. If not that child, then that child.
Right. Yeah.
We've got the brothers. We've got the daughter. We've got Spider. I mean, I felt like it wasn't until very far into the film that I said to myself, probably during the part that I thought was a little long, that I went, wow, this film has very much been a passing of the torch, and it never felt that way for me. Normally, I dislike passing of the torches. Of we talked about this with Ghostbusters. I like seeing my original Ghostbuster buddies. The new guys can be fun, but I like the original guys. I would watch a full film just about those old men trying to fight ghosts.
And you'll be with me on this, I can guarantee it. Same with Star Wars. Oh my God, it's Han.
Yes.
And then Jedi comes, you're like, where's all the people I like?
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Sean will fight against that.
I literally was sitting here thinking about I think it's a beautiful cinematic moment when Rey gets the lightsaber. I love that moment in Force Awakens. I absolutely.
She is. I didn't know who she was.
I don't know who you're talking about. The main character from what? Star Wars.
See, because in that moment, I went, the lightsaber's flying across the thing and right into Luke Skywalker's hell.
Oh,
it's Rey.
It's Rey.
Oh no, I mean, there. Not to digress, but I mean that whole thing is like the Excalibur thing in the. I mean, all that, like what the sword means and all of this stuff. It was a total passing of the torch and all of that. I loved that. I thought that. So
here's my question. Once again, not to keep us from talking about Way of Water, which we did watch and we really liked, but. Here's my question. Are you interested in seeing the next Star Wars that are the Jedi Academy with Rey's Rey Chronicles, whatever they're called?
I don't think is that's even really happening.
Boy, don't trust any film announcement from Lucasfilm.
I mean,
the only one that's actually happening is the Grogu movie, the Mandalorian and the Grogu and Starfighter is in production.
Right.
So those two are for real.
But the Rey, they announced, then they unannounced, and then they re-announced it.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, oh, it must be on, because I don't know, have we seen that before where they re-announced it?
Yeah. I mean, my argument at this point is there's so much, so many splintering with the fans, that I just think that they need to hit the reset button and just be like, this is 2,000 years into the future, or
I agree. You just got to start it all over
behind, or whatever. Let's just get out of this situation.
Go somewhere completely. Else. You know what I found fascinating? That Star Wars now appeals more to young females as opposed to young males. They literally lost their male audience.
Wow.
Which I thought was fascinating. I heard that like a month and a half ago.
Star Wars has always had wonderful female heroines.
Yeah.
And, I think Rey took that to a new level.
Yeah.
But a lot of people didn't like the fact that they didn't feel like she had an actual real struggle. That she was the whatever they call that, the Mary Sue kind of character. I don't know if I agree with that entirely. But I can see why people feel that way.
I wonder if I was trying to figure out why, because I do think a good story is just a good story, whether it's a male character or a female character. But I also wonder if. And I'm not saying men and women. What I'm saying is Star Wars fans. I wonder if female fans of Star Wars are more accepting of what I would think is a bad story. Example, I did not stick around for Ahsoka. Fascinating character, but I just thought the acting was so bad that I couldn't take it.
100%.
So I had to leave. Then I did watch The Acolyte. I watched the whole thing, angry at myself that I was watching this series. But once again, was it because I disliked the female lead? No, I disliked the terrible things that was taking place. I'm just like, this is just stupid. And I don't know who this is for, and I don't know why these characters are making the choice. So it's like, that's why I wonder why that happened.
Well, I think maybe we can... But, we're goofing on the fact that, boy, it takes so long to get an Avatar movie, but he didn't water down the brand.
Yeah, I agree.
By only having these 3 movies. And I'm expecting to like this 3rd one.
Yeah.
And so now I will have liked all of them. And when's that happen? Deadpool for the shows, the franchises we've covered?
Right.
That's it. Right.
Yeah.
Tron goes, oh, and even Ghostbusters goes, oh. And Star Wars and Indiana Jones are uneven, but if he nails this, so far everything's great.
Yeah.
And there's no TV shows, and I think I said this in the last episode, I don't want any Avatar TV shows. Don't suddenly start doing that because he
That would be interesting because he can, like, oh, no, okay, we're going to follow, a group of children.
He's taking the care, and it shows. Continue to, please.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I do think that the biggest problem with the Star Wars as a I hate to say this, it sounds so corporate, but with Star Wars as an IP is that it doesn't have a singular sort of voice anymore. And so there's lots of voices. Now, I celebrate the fact that there's lots of people and lots of fans for Star Wars and lots of diverse fans, more so than when we were kids. I do think that Star Wars was I'm guessing it was predominantly a boy kind of IP, right? It was
Well, I think they only had toys for boys for the most part, where action figures, I think, were more so. That's why they called them action figures and not dolls.
Right. Yeah. I think it was a different time, and it was just, it was different. But now we have such a diverse audience. I mean, I do celebrate the fact that there are people that are Star Wars fans who don't love the movies at all. They like the books. Or they like the Clone Wars animated series, or they're fans because they watch, whatever, even the Acolyte or whatever. You know what I mean? These different sort of things speak to them. I guess the real question is what do you want out of these things? But to Paul's point always is I would much rather watch something that someone is completely passionate about making than something that is just sort of a corporate engine. And I think that's the biggest danger. This is why Andor did so well.
Yeah.
Because Andor was made by a group of people who really, really were into the storytelling, wanted to tell something bigger, but set in the Star Wars universe.
But
who's going to direct the Rey movie? They're just going to find someone.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
That's not, and that's always been the problem.
Yeah.
That was the singular problem with episode 7, 8, and 9 was that they just found somebody that they thought could take this and make it cool, bring us back to the Star Wars that we love or know, but kind of move us forward.
The pitch meetings were all about being cool.
Yeah, it's all about cool and visuals and da-da-da, but we all know it's more than that. It's about heart, which they tried to do, I think, a lot in The Force Awakens, and then I think it fell off a little too far.
And then you get Rogue One, where once again somebody really cared about it. Is like, no, I have a story that I want to tell.
Yeah,
it's not a fascinating story, but I think I can do it in a way that you've never seen it before.
Yeah.
By making an actual war film.
Yeah.
I mean, it was great. Yeah. Rogue One is spectacular.
So, I mean, all of this to say, I think James Cameron has done a great job with the Avatar series to keep it pure, to not water it down, no pun intended, and, to keep us, as I think
it's fired up.
Hey. Pun completely intended. I think he's done a really good job of keeping us excited about it and stuff like that.
Who will be the first critic to say this movie kicks ash? It'll be some internet guy, right? Probably won't be like Rolling Stone won't do that.
Oh, see, I think we're going to see several of those.
Yeah. By the way, I've only seen like little bits of
every
the trailer.
ember of this is great.
Everybody's gonna love it.
Right.
I've only seen the trailer maybe once or twice, but the visuals like keep getting better, right?
So how it's unbelievable that these creatures aren't real. In this movie and in the trailer for the new one. The texture, the depth, the curves, incredible. The shadows, they cast shadows, and they're not there. And the ears move independently of everything else on their face. Like, is this the best it will ever be? If Cameron's still doing it, probably no. But it feels like, feels like this is nothing AI will ever be close to this good. Ever. Well, and Cameron's decision to stand by and fight for actors in this space pays off, and I know he'll continue to do that. I just hope that spreads throughout the digital community.
Once he figures out how to miniaturize people and put them in a colon or a gut, it's going to be spectacular, guys. Come on.
But to a good point you made, halfway through this movie, you realize Cameron's just, like you said, he's got to develop new technology, even shooting water.
Yep.
And then there's so much water, he's just showing off.
Oh yeah,
he's
just
just
showing off.
To achieve the realistic wet-for-wet performance capture, the crew built a massive tank at Manhattan Beach Studios that was 120 feet long, 60 feet wide, and 30 feet deep, holding over 250,000 gallons of water, and it even had a racetrack propeller system to create currents and waves.
And they built stuff.
Who does that for a movie?
Right, and then on top of it, they built things on top of it.
Guy who loves movies.
So that when they're doing the motion capture for like the boat going over and all that, or whatever that contraption was, so that this can actually go into the water and do all of the physical things that we're seeing on
it
screen.
Actually would.
It actually physically does it, and it's like
a gimbal, but in water.
But in water, well, we need to be able to lift it up and pull it out and whatever. And it's like, what? You just built it?
Actors and the camera operators could not use scuba gear in the performance capture tank. Scuba bubbles reflect light, and that would have created thousands of false markers, confusing the motion capture cameras. That's why everyone had to learn to be a free diver.
Even the camera operators?
Even the camera operators.
Oh my
How
God!
absurd.
Nobody's
Or it had to be
talking about
robotic.
that.
Or it had
It's
to be
like
robotic.
Free Solo. Every camera operator in that documentary was climbing mountains.
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
the guy they're filming. You got to get in on it and learn it to be any part of it. It seems.
That's fascinating.
I just heard about this Manhattan Beach studio recently.
Yeah.
It's been around for a long time, and I never knew they were down there making movies.
I didn't know there
until
was
I
one
spent
down
some time down there giving a tour of. I was doing like a walking tour of restaurants and stuff, and they heard about this play. They filmed Ally McBeal, and then they'd come into Manhattan Beach and some stuff. But I never knew they did Avatar there.
I think that's where I auditioned for Boston Legal. I did an episode of Boston Legal, and I think that's what
Wouldn't be surprised. It's also David Kelly, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense. To eliminate the light reflections on top of the water when they were dealing with people, they had to create thousands and thousands of tiny little white balls that the actors could push aside, mirroring the water, trying to go through the water that just floated and wouldn't cause a problem.
Wow.
Were those also motion capture balls,
I
essentially?
would imagine that they were, but in my because I had that very same discussion, I was like, oh, like the old motion
That's
capture.
what I thought. I was like,
ping-pong
these are
balls.
like literally motion capture.
I don't know the answer to that, but possibly.
Which would make sense because if you're animating water,
right,
and you're like, oh, I can
you
just
then get
attach
the
it to
flow
this
of it in
motion
any
capture,
given
and like
moment.
now I've got a natural flow.
They were the balls that they threw into the tornado and Twister, and they mapped out.
There you go.
Yeah, it's
There you
all
go.
high tech.
Right.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Due to a massive groundbreaking production budget, the budget originally was $350 million. No one knows, no one has said, but we also don't know how much of that was R&D. We just know a lot of it was R&D.
Wow.
To literally develop the cameras, to literally create this tank, which was crazy. And then they said like 480, so maybe another 130 for advertisement for this thing.
So you have to make $1 billion on this to double your budget, right?
the
Like
thing.
if your goal is always like, I got to double my budget, then I've made money. Like,
Right, but at one point, and Cameron talks about this in interviews, he said at one point they started to say, I don't think we can give you that money. To which his response was, oh, I'm sorry. What point of over $1 billion did you not like about the last film?
Yeah.
Like, what part of that didn't you like?
Right.
Because this is what it takes for me to do this again.
Right.
Okay, if they lose $500 million, we're still talking that he's done pretty well between the two films, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So due to its massive groundbreaking production budget, Cameron himself stated that the film needed to be the third or fourth highest grossing film in history in order for it to really make money.
I mean, I like the fact that he set a goal for himself. I mean, if you're going to set a goal, why set a small one?
Yeah. My thoughts on the film overall, I really enjoyed it. I just wasn't expecting to enjoy it this much. And the more I look back on it, and the more that, sometimes I become a fan of a film after I start to learn some of the stuff that they did. I do go back to the second Tron movie. I appreciated everything they did. Still not a good film. But, I feel like the second Tron movie ends up being, maybe marginally better than the third after I get away from the third for a while, because just learning of all the stuff that they did in the background to try and make it a good film.
Can I just interrupt that thought, though, just to say, I think so much of it comes from something you just talked about before, which we were talking about with Black Adam, which is we were in both of the Tron sequels, we just didn't get an opportunity to care about these characters enough.
I agree.
We didn't. We and it wasn't necessarily even the actors. It's just the script, the story, the way it unfolds. It's just, do I care?
Yeah.
How much do I care? I don't know. You have to ground it in some kind of, to Susan's point, like you got to ground it in some kind of truth, right? Like some kind of human truth that we can connect to and go, I get that. I can connect to that. I don't care if it's Star Wars, Avatar, whatever. I don't care if you're Thor or whoever it is. I can connect to the humanity.
Yeah.
And I just think that those movies suffered from not having enough of that humanity.
You were about to say something, Paul.
Huh?
Oh, okay. No, you had that look.
No, I was just
got
proud of Susan.
Overall, I don't know. Did you like this better than the first one?
Ooh. Ooh.
I don't think so, because the first, it's an unparalleled movie experience, that first one, in the theater. It was,
nothing like it.
Yeah, nothing like it. Yeah.
I think his discovery of learning to love this planet and then falling in love with this woman was much more interesting overall,
right?
Than not that I didn't love this one. I love this one, but I think if I had to say which one I loved more, I think I love the original one more.
Yeah.
Is this the rank 'em segment?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm still going to stand by number one as being better of the two, but I can't. This film has caused me to think about it a lot.
Yeah.
This film I thought about more than I thought about the first one.
Ooh. Oh. Yeah, I suppose
it'll be interesting what distance does to
I
me.
think there's an argument for that. I would say that I feel that way as well, that I have thought about, especially the family element, like you said, being, having a family, and you think about your kids. And there's an image in the film that I really, really love of they're sort of laying on, like, I don't know, whatever it is, like they're in the trees and they're laying on like a grass thing or a branch or something, and it's sort of the whole family. They're all kind of cuddling almost, like, and it's a beautiful image. And my family, like, we're a close knit family. There's lots of hugging and all that stuff, and you hug your kids, you love your kids, and you want to hold them close. And I felt like they captured that kind of love, which, by the way, is also a testament to the young actors who were involved. We haven't really talked about them too much, but but they did a great job as well. Really keeping these characters honest.
I'm about to talk about what I did not like about the film. I just thought it was too long. I'm not saying I didn't like it. Was there anything in this film you did not like before I go?
Yeah, I liked Spider a little more this time, but the first time through, I didn't care for Spider.
Yeah.
I just thought it was it's funny. He was like the worst performance to me, and the only one not covered up in CGI. Maybe it's tough to be Farrell. I don't know, but I just thought he was like overacting a little bit.
One of the toughest things, and maybe you guys feel this too, with us being actors and filmmakers and having, I don't know, written our own stuff or whatever, you understand story beats, you understand setups, and you understand deliveries of, like, how things are going to go. And gosh, I just hate when I'm watching a movie and I go, oh man, this guy's going to die. And I totally knew that the brother was going to die.
Yeah.
And I was like, they're going to kill him off, aren't they? Damn it. And I could see it starting to get set up fairly early. Yeah. And I was like, no, please don't let this be true. And of course it was true. And, I have to say, I don't know that you needed to kill him off at all.
Well,
I really don't. I don't think, a lot of times when you kill someone off in a story, it really becomes a catalyst for a new level of whatever else. And I don't think it would. I think that Jake Sully would have gone after this guy anyway. I think he would have been like, no, we have to now we have to stand and fight, or he's going to just keep coming after us. Yeah. Right. Which is essentially what happens. So does he need this turning point of him getting killed? And also, doesn't technically the son get shot by just someone else, right? Like there's other guys shooting.
Like a spray of fire.
Yeah, just it's just a spray of fire. So it's not like our lead bad guy, like, well, I got him.
Porridge,
there's no payoff for him with it. So that part I didn't love. And now I will say, what I did love was how they handled the moment. I thought it was amazing. And tumultuous and beautiful, because and it speaks to their world. They get him up on the rock, and his mom comes, and his dad is there, and you could see in Dad's face, he knows, being a soldier, this guy's done.
Yeah.
And as a father, what he also knows, and as someone who now believes in all of this, he knows his job now is to let him go and to love him into it. Like love him into his death.
Oh, that's fascinating.
And that moment to me, that broke me. I just thought, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
This is beautiful and amazing. So,
no, that's fascinating.
Yeah, I guess maybe by this point, everywhere Jake goes, people die. That's kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
To watch.
Yeah.
He goes into the tree people, and they tear the tree down, he goes and then they come and they kill a bunch of the reef people, and so that's rough to watch. But I mean,
will there be a reckoning because of that?
Well, that's what I'm wondering.
I was thinking.
You
also,
said it being a catalyst. I'm like, we are 2 movies in 5.
we may not be done with his anger at his son's death.
Yeah. I think there's more to come. Yeah.
What do you think about our lead bad guy surviving?
Stupid spider.
Fucking spider.
Yeah.
I had mixed feelings about that. I think we were talking about things we don't like. I don't know if I love that. I like the idea because again, it's like, oh my god, this guy doesn't get, like, basically he gets killed in the first one, but they could bring him back in like an Avatar thing. Well,
then he's saved. Yeah, exactly.
And now it's like now he's still alive. He made it in the water.
Well, here's my question. I don't know. I guess it depends. Okay, I don't think James Cameron would do this, but would it become, he's our bad guy in 3, and he's our bad guy in 4, and he's our bad guy in 5? Or is 3 going to be enough of a departure wherever it takes place, wherever it goes, that Quaritch may not even be in the film? So it's like, by the time he comes back, it's 5, and it's like, I see
what you're saying. You think maybe they'll take a break from him, we'll have somebody else,
yes.
and then at some point, that's interesting.
I think the fire people are not good. I think we'll finally it won't be just Na'vi versus Marines, and then second one, Na'vi versus Marines. I think now there'll be a Pandora.
The clans are going to start fighting.
Yeah,
that's interesting. I don't know.
Well, and to your guys' point, which I think is really interesting, has Jake Sully, he has kind of brought this terribleness to them, and at some point, some clan's going to be like, hey, it's this guy.
Well, there's an argument of like, no, they'd have come anyway if he wasn't here. He just happens to be here. They are after him.
I think they made that point in the first movie.
They were coming, and he stopped them from coming.
Right.
They might be after him, and they might still be wanting this place, but he's the only guy who has stopped them.
Then I started thinking about Quaritch's plan is to go in there and get Jake out of the woods, right? Kill him and get him out of there so they can go get the unobtainium. Well, he leaves the woods.
Right.
So you'd think Quaritch would be like, hey, we're done, and go get the unobtainium.
Well, that's a great question.
But the problem is they set up the whole thing about how the Na'vi are real pains in the ass to everything the Marines are trying to do. They're disrupting the trains and doing all this stuff, so you got to go take care of them.
Yeah. Fascinating.
I think you were going to get to something you didn't like. So
okay, I'm going to preface this by saying, so maybe it's just it's the substitution property of mathematics that's causing my problem here. Okay, I enjoyed The Force Awakens. I really have watched. I've watched that movie several times. I enjoy that movie. Does it have problems? Yes, but I enjoy it, and I will argue that. The Skywalker, what was the third one called? Last Skywalker?
Rise of Skywalker. Which
I will argue why that movie is good.
That's my least favorite of the 3.
It's not, I don't think it's a great movie, but they were painted into a corner by Rian Johnson. Ryan, I think you're exceptionally talented. I do love your movies. You're fantastic. Please come on the show because I'd love to talk to you about what the hell went wrong with The Last Jedi. Because I think The Last Jedi is terrible.
No.
And one of the biggest problems is a 45-minute diversion that goes nowhere about horse racing. Am I for horse racing? Am I against horse racing? I honestly don't have much of an opinion. I think it's probably an antiquated sport. Does it need to be around anymore? I guess not. Never thought that much of it. You know what I don't need? I don't need 45 minutes about horse racing and the ethics of whether it should be a thing put into the middle of my Star Wars film that goes absolutely nowhere. Okay? So, very passionate about that. I felt that way a little about whaling, except I'm very much against whaling. But that was the only part of this movie that I thought was long.
That was 10 minutes.
That sequence was 40 minutes if it was a day.
Now, to be clear, you can never give me a hard time again about any synopses ever based on that explanation of this moment.
Fair. I'm just very
Well, we can't
passionate
because
about
we don't let you do them anymore.
I suppose that's true.
This is true. I thought the whaling thing was too. That's the only critique I had. I just thought it was too much of James Cameron showing off. Look what I can do.
The whaling, when you're talking about the whaling moment, like literally when they're catching the whale, and they get the what is that stuff that they get out of the whale? Do we remember the
brain juice?
Yeah.
Brain juice, whatever it is. Now, this is something we haven't talked about. So they get the brain juice. Now we don't have the unobtainium. Now we're here because they have the brain juice, and the brain juice makes it so the humans don't age. Right. And that's the only time they ever talk about it. It's like they talk about it and then they move on.
Yeah.
But leading up to that, we have this whole whaling sequence. Yeah. So are we going to have more of this? And like, to your point, did we need any of this? I will tell you that out of things I didn't like, the whaling sequence, I was fine with in terms of watching it and it being in the film. But then the payoff of this is why we're here made me go, I'm confused. So now we're not here for the unobtainium. Now we're here for this, or are we here for multiple things? Like, I felt like they could have done a better job of kind of combining those things. They definitely
could have done a better job.
Like okay,
editing down that sequence was one of them.
Well, that's true. But to say like this planet has riches that we've only started to tap.
Yeah,
we started with the unobtainium, and this was this almost like diamonds or whatever you want to call that, like it's blood diamond, right? Okay, and now we've got this stuff, and it makes it so that humans don't age. Well, this is amazing. What else does this planet have that we have not even tapped yet, right? And that, to me, is where that conversation needed to go, but didn't.
Yeah. You're forgetting an entire third thing. Unobtainium in the first movie. In the early part of the movie, Edie Falco talks about how they could terraform Pandora because Earth is dying and people need to move there. And I thought that was going to be be the Marines.
Yes.
And then they get onto what's called Amrita, which is that's the name of the brain juice. So they had a couple things going there, and we'll see if they continue into this new movie or they just had one, dropped it, and moved on to Amrita.
Well, I mean, there's
which is Amrita. So that's how you couldn't read. That's how it's spelled.
I could be wrong. You tell me. Am I right?
They should have done that. If we want to be more like unobtainium, they should have done that.
Am I right?
Yeah.
That would have been hilarious.
Are we ready for fun facts?
Yes.
Yes. Let's hit some fun facts about Avatar: The Way of Water.
Okay. So first, Tom Cruise saved the box office, right? He saved the world of cinema with his movie Top Gun: Maverick. But then he was topped by James Cameron. Must have made good old Tom so unhappy. Must have been such a sad,
I'm pretty sure he reached out to all the aliens he knows.
Unhappy little guy.
Reset that.
Also, don't know if you know this. Previous to that, Tom Cruise had held a record for freediving in a movie. Right? Of the longest amount of time filming a sequence, being underwater, freediving.
Rogue Nation?
Was that?
What was it called?
I don't think it was Rogue Nation. I don't remember which one it was. One of the Mission Impossibles where he has to go into the thing and do the thing. Well,
that's all of them.
Poor little Tom. He's going to be sad again because, it was Rogue Nation. I have it written down. I have better notes than I thought I did.
Amrita?
His record, Kate Winslet broke Tom Cruise's record of 6 minutes with a record of 7 minutes and 15 seconds. Poor little Tommy. Maybe that's a sad fact about the way of water.
Kate's probably taller and there's more room for air.
All of that is true.
Right.
Is that why he had so many underwater sequences in the more recent Mission Impossible films?
He was trying to break it.
I have got to break this.
Oh my God, Tom! If you'd like to come on the show, we have so many questions for you.
And by the way, in his defense, I love Tom Cruise. I think
come
he's
on,
awesome.
who doesn't love Tom Cruise? So
you know what? He's the last movie star. Right?
Yes.
Oh, he is.
But, and there's only one other guy I think that holds that crown. It's Hugh Jackman. Am I right? Hugh Jackman did one TV show called Viva Laughlin. I don't know if you remember it.
No.
But other than that, he's like the movie star out there who's
You don't think The Rock?
No, he's
I agree more with The Rock than I do Hugh Jackman.
no, because he came from wrestling. He still does wrestling. He did Ballers. He does
That's what you're saying.
shows
Movie star.
I see, like someone who's really a cinephile, who's really just like, I mainly do movies. That's what I do.
I see what you're saying.
But what about, Brad Pitt for sure is a movie star.
Same age.
George Clooney also a movie star, I would say. Although, of course, he came from television, but
right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, here's another one. General Frances Ardmore, also known as Edie Falco, filmed her role years before the release. She famously admitted in an interview that she was so busy after the shooting, she thought the film had already come out and just flopped because she hadn't heard anything about it.
that's hilarious.
Isn't that spectacular? She's like, I shot this thing.
I did this.
It seemed like 10 years ago, and I don't even know. I didn't hear anything.
I mean, you could literally be by yourself in these shoots. There's no things. There's no other actors. There's no nothing. Yeah. She's standing in a big thing. That's not there. Right. So she goes and says some lines. I don't know what happened with that.
I don't know what happened with that.
Then you see what happened. And you're like, good Lord, that's what became of that afternoon I spent.
She gets her first residual. She's like, this did well.
Right.
I was in this. Yeah.
Fun fact about Avatar: The Way of Water. According to James Cameron, the Avatar sequels were such a massive undertaking that he divided the 4 scripts between the writing team of Rick Jaffa, Amanda Silver, Josh Friedman, and Shane Salerno. Cameron delves further.
Shane Salerno?
Yeah.
Why do you know? He's had his own career, doesn't he?
I thought you were going to make fun of me. Like, these names, Justin, we don't know.
That's coming.
Cameron said, we met for 7 months and we whiteboarded out every single scene of the film together. And he did not assign a writer for any one of the films until the very last day that they met, because he didn't want anybody tuning out when we weren't talking about their movie.
Huh.
Fascinating. And once again, so James Cameron, right? I'm not letting anybody sit down and do nothing.
His level of attention to detail. I mean, I will also argue too that like it's a bummer that this does happen a little bit in our industry, where there are people who have different roles and different jobs, and when you're not talking about their thing, they don't care.
Yeah.
And I've seen that in meetings that I've been in where I'm like, we're still here. We're all part of this process. Yeah. Let's all still be present. That does happen. Maybe that's just people who have been doing it for so long that they're just like, I don't need to know any of this,
Also, not only did James Cameron shoot 2 full Avatar sequels at once, but he also waited to start filming until all of the scripts for Avatar 2, 3, 4, and 5 were complete.
Are you serious?
Yes. So he has all 5 movies finished.
Okay, we are going to pause right there and just celebrate that.
Yes, right?
Because that right there is the singular biggest problem with Star Wars, the 100%. Star Wars sequel trilogy.
Yeah, where are we going with this? I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We don't really know where we're going.
No.
And so we're just going to find it as we go. And that was the problem. This is how
movie making passed by Kathleen Kennedy.
Right.
Feige came along and he's like, no, I have my 10-year plan and it's all mapped out. You can use these characters, writers. You can do this. You can do this. You can do this. This is where it's going. This is what's happening. This is it. Meanwhile, she's still doing old school filmmaking of, we'll figure it out in the next one. We'll justify it somehow.
By the way, I don't know what TV we got coming next year from Marvel. Wonder Man, I'm sure, is almost here. The teaser stuff is out.
Is that the guy from Thunderbolts?
No.
Wonder Man.
He's one we haven't seen yet.
Oh, okay.
But the movies are going to be the new Spider-Man movie and Avengers Doomsday. I mean, what a year for Marvel we're going to have.
I'm
so excited.
That is really going to be a lot of fun.
Those two are
that is going to be a lot of fun.
Ash.
Robert Downey.
Hey.
Robert Downey Jr. is now, what, 70? Right?
I don't think. No, he's not.
No.
I think he is.
How old is Robert Downey Jr.? No way. Ding. 60 years old.
Whoops. We'll erase that.
Come on.
Yeah.
But cocaine is a crazy drug.
Crazy drunk drivers. But the reason why he wanted to do this is because he said, I have this buddy, Peter, and Peter knew exactly what was going to happen in all 3 of these movies because he had an entire script for all 3 of these movies done. It's called The Lord of the Rings. Turned out pretty well. That's why we're doing this, because he wanted it all mapped out going into it.
I love everything about that. that.
Yeah.
I think that's just. I think that's smart filmmaking, and I think that's something that a lot of these. Here we go again. These IP holders could learn a thing or two
100%.
from that.
No, when you pitch something, you need to pitch. These are the 3 movies I'm going to make.
Yeah.
It's going to have this arc. These are the 3 scripts that we're going to work on before we even get it done.
I mean, because here's another IP just to make it fun. I mean, even when we go back to like the Zack Snyder stuff, right? Like were there full scripts for all of that stuff? I know he had like
full scripts.
He had a 5-movie plan.
Yeah.
But that's not the same as having the scripts.
Right.
But
also, I would argue that was a bad plan from the beginning because that wasn't going to give us the Superman we know and love until film 5.
But would that have been fixed had you have to write the films? Right? Because part of the process of writing the film is rewriting the film.
Yeah.
Right? You sit there and you have these ideas and you're like, okay, this can happen here and this is all right. Okay, now we're into act 2 and whatever. And then you write it and you go, I think this is pretty good. And then you read it and you have a table read and you go, oh, that doesn't work at all. Well, I got to go back and rewrite that, or I got to move this scene over here, whatever. Right? I feel like those things could have happened.
I'm not going to say no. That had all of the scripts been written, it could have solved that problem, but I'm still going to say I think it was a bad choice from the beginning. You're going to bring Superman into this world, what I mean is, the DCEU, and you're not going to make him Superman for 5 movies, and each movie is 2.5 to 3 hours long. So, okay, we have 11 hours, 12 hours from now before we see the Superman that we know.
Right.
Why are we waiting for this?
Right.
And he's the main character. That didn't square well.
But then again, if you don't plan anything, you often get some gems too. Like if you have your franchise around long enough, eventually you'll be in space. # Jason, # Leprechaun, # Fast and Furious.
There you go. You're right. You're not wrong about
Wait,
that.
Fast and Furious was in space?
By F9, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you? I didn't know that.
That's why I say F9.
I tried to during the blip. We tried to watch some of the Fast and Furious movies, and I couldn't do it. I got through like one. I was like, I just can't.
There's 10 of them. By 2, they get bad.
Oh, I was like, I felt like the script was being written as I was watching it.
Hey guys, he's watching. Do we have the next scene? Yeah. Okay, make it up. What are we doing after that? I don't know. Let's see how he responds to this
like,
one.
We'll be in the writer's room.
This doesn't work at all. Let's go back to the cars.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, stunt's great.
I got 2 more. Did you know Edward Norton said no to this movie?
Well, I did not.
Yes.
What role?
Cameron offered him the role. It doesn't say. Cameron offered him a role, and he said no to it because it was a role that would have had him going against the Na'vi. And he's like, I don't want to be your Giovanni Ribisi for this. I don't want to be that guy. This is not a good look. So no. But it's also fascinating to me because Ed Norton, we've talked about this before, difficult guy. It's very much his way when he's on a film set, and it's just like, okay, James Cameron is very much that as well. I don't know how that would have worked out.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have, and I also don't think we needed the Giovanni Ribisi character. In this one, and he's not right. He's not in.
He shows up and he explains that.
Oh, you're right. Yes, the quick thing. Yeah, he has that one moment.
Right.
By the way, did you know that he became a DP?
Yeah.
You guys aware of this?
No.
Yeah,
he became an actual DP. He DP'd a feature that did quite well. Yeah.
One I'm still dying to see. Sorry, Darling?
That's something. I don't remember what the name was, but I remember hearing about it and going, oh my God, that's just so interesting that he a legit DP, like actually,
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's not stunt casting for a DP.
Yeah.
Stunt crewing. All right, this is my final fun fact about Avatar: The Way of Water. This one, fascinating. Now,
fascinating fact about Avatar: The Way of Water.
Now, wait, before we go here, let's remind people when we are seeing the 3rd Avatar movie.
The 21st of December.
The 21st of December. Where are we seeing it, Paul?
Grauman's Chinese Theater in Hollywood.
Grauman's Chinese Theater in Hollywood. What kind? Are we seeing it in 3D?
Yes.
Okay. Is there
And
anything
IMAX.
else? And IMAX. Anything else about it?
High frame rate.
We're seeing it in high frame
Oh,
rate.
I forgot about that. Yes.
HFM. Sean thought that might be kind of cool.
I'm
so Sean was
excited.
like, let's do it. And I thought to myself, I mean, why not? But also, that was before I knew how good the second one would be. So now we're heading into our final fun fact. I just thought I'd get that out there. James Cameron seriously considered shooting the entirety of the Avatar sequels in a higher frame rate, stating, "The 3D shows you a window into reality. The higher frame rate takes the glass, though, out of that window. The industry standard being 24 frames per second. The higher frame rates are at least 48 frames per second, 60 frames per second, or 120. So James Cameron later opted out of this route, stating in an interview that as groundbreaking as the format is for cinema, moviegoers have always seen movies a specific way. And altering that in any way would simply take the audience out of that experience. So only certain scenes will actually utilize the high frame rate technology when made.
That is how Way of Water showed. Yeah.
Is that how this new one is going to show as well?
believe so.
Yeah. So there will be some that are going to be high frame rate moments, and other moments are going to be 24.
No, I think we're seeing it entirely in high frame rate.
really?
And I think he's referring that they only filmed certain scenes in high frame rate.
That makes sense. 'Cause
Distribution is different than production on this.
That makes sense because you can't change your projection in the middle of it in terms of like how you're playing that back. So obviously that it's all just going to be 24 frames or 48 frames.
My point being, I think we're about to see this film in a way that James Cameron did not intend us to see it.
Well,
I spoke up.
I mean, I'm excited to see it.
I am excited.
I don't know this whole story, so I'm going to not tell it perfectly, but I had heard is that somebody? Oh, it's out in the other room. I had heard a story about when they were doing some different development things for movie theaters. And there was a guy, and I forgot his name, but part of what he wanted to develop, and I think maybe he worked with Peter Jackson on the high frame rate stuff or whatever, but part of what they wanted to develop with the high frame rate thing was this idea that when you go and you see something that's in 3D, that's in a high frame rate, whatever, that essentially you're not watching the movie on a screen. You're looking through the wall into that world. Yeah, like you're literally seeing that world in front of you as if it was there.
Yeah.
So I think that's the intention. I don't think that we've gotten there yet, and I'll be interested to see the high frame rate because I know that sometimes it our brain just doesn't process it right and all of that stuff. So I'm interested to see it that way just because I think it's going to be fun and a new opportunity to see this technology demonstrated. So
I brought all this up because I thought it would be funny to mention that since we're specifically seeing it in high frame rate. However, I'm going to say I am not discouraged by this to go see it this way because we are not seeing actors on a set. We are seeing almost exclusively everything created inside of a computer. The motion capture will still be real. I'm not worried about it for that reason.
Yeah.
Paul is less than confident.
I remember. well, what's interesting about it is
if you can see the look on his
The
face,
Hobbit looked awful.
The
high
Hobbit
rate.
looked terrible. It looked like a soap opera.
Yeah,
it looked like you were on set watching them do it.
There's a difference between how Three's Company and Cheers looked. The film look in Cheers is film.
Yeah.
And that sheen over it, it's just what I'd like to see. But we're going to get Three's Company on Pandora.
I don't think you're going to be correct, and here's why I don't think you will be correct. Because the difference between The Hobbit and this film, to Justin's point, is the majority of what we are going to see on that screen is going to be computer-generated imagery. Essentially, I don't want to call it animation because it's not animation. It's computer-generated imagery referencing actual real live actor performances because of the motion capture. But the actual images that we end up seeing are computer-generated.
But the worst part...
Wait, let me finish my point. Okay. Because I have a friend of mine, because I unfortunately didn't get to see The Hobbit in high frame rate, wish I would have just to have the reference, but one of his complaints was that you could basically see the makeup of the hobbits. You could basically see like everything. It was so clear that he was like, I felt like I was watching a play. Yeah. I felt like I was watching something on the BBC, right? We're not going to have that problem here because there is no makeup. Everything is CG.
What it called out to me, though, was the visual effects. Now, granted, you may have seen a real world with some visual effect characters there, like giant monsters or whatever. But even if it's all monsters, they're just going to look, I don't know. I can't imagine a whole movie. I remember specifically a scene in one of those Hobbit movies where there's orcs riding on these beasts, and they were all clearly CGI, and that just called that out. They stood out. So if the whole movie stands out as, hey, this is CGI, that's going to be terrible.
I don't know.
That's my fear.
I'm also going to go back to James Cameron tries to make everything look so photorealistic real that even though it is CGI, imagine the nature films that you've seen, that it's just like at this high frame rate that looks spectacular. I kind of feel like maybe that's where we're going. Like I said, I don't know. It may blow. It really may blow. But this also might be really cool.
Yeah. I have a hard time believing that James Cameron would let this be shown in high frame rate if he didn't now feel like it was worth showing.
You know what?
I really don't. I don't
he
think
has enough control that you are correct.
Yeah. I mean, he's made enough for these companies that I'm sure he would be like, no, we're not doing that. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, enough about that. That was another fun fact about Avatar: The Way of Water. All right, let's talk quiz time. Paul gave me a bunch of guff last time because I ended up making a quiz about directors. He's like, so this has nothing to do with the movie. This is just about directors. Yes, it was.
That's guff-worthy.
Wasn't that 2 times ago?
Whatever it was. So this time we have, Santa hats on. So, I realized this is the first time I've looked at the camera. This entire shot is going to be the back of my head.
It's okay. I've had my hand in my crotch.
This will only be used for clips of people saying something interesting.
Yeah.
So it'll be mostly Sean and I.
Yeah.
So I was like, I literally redid my entire quiz this morning. I woke up early because last night in the middle of the night, I woke up and I went,
my voice? Was it my voice going, don't do it?
Yeah, no. No.
Guff.
It was your guff that made me do the other quiz, and it's fine. We'll get to the other quiz later. But I was just like, no, I'm going to change the quiz. And so we have a quiz about Christmas movies because this is the only time we get to do this.
I love it. Let's do it. I'm so excited.
All right. We got a week and a half to get this edited.
Yeah, I know.
All right, here we go. All right. In Gremlins, what town does the movie take place? Is it A, Kingston Falls, B, Bedford Falls, C, Gravity Falls, or D, Parasite Palisades?
Bedford Falls.
No, it's the first one. Bedford Falls is It's a Wonderful Life.
You are correct. Paul is correct.
You're right. I just watched that yesterday.
See, we could just
By the way, I was watching that. I didn't get to finish it, but I was watching It's a Wonderful Life yesterday. I'm so glad I came up in conversation.
High frame rate.
High frame rate.
And colorized.
Jimmy Stewart looks just like an Avatar. No, I cried within the first 12 minutes of that film.
Yeah, that tracks.
That movie is like it's just so deep.
Yeah. Oh, with him as a boy.
Oh my God, that moment with the
Yep.
oh my God.
Yeah. All right. Number 2, in the Polar Express 2004, what gift does the boy receive from Santa? A, a toy train, B, a bell from Santa's sleigh, C, a conductor's hat, or D, a note that Santa wrote that says, I've seen your mom naked. Damn.
That's just wrong. It's a bell. It's a bell.
It's a bell, I believe. I forgot that most of that movie.
It is a bell from Santa's sleigh. A note from Santa.
I don't love that.
I saw that on a TV somewhere I was just playing in the background. That movie looks terrible.
Yeah.
But he doubled down on that
I do
terrible
not enjoy that movie.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
In Elf, what is the name of Buddy's real father? Is it real father? Is it A, Frank Greenway, B, Walter Hobbs, C, Miles Finch, or D, D's
nuts? Okay.
B, Walter Hobbs.
I believe so as well.
I couldn't even get through it.
And by the way,
they're so dumb sometimes, you guys, that it's like I can't get through the joke.
Elf is my favorite.
Elf is my favorite.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you did it.
Well, I mean, your wife worked with Zooey Deschanel.
Right.
She did.
Ernie Sabella. Number 4, in Die Hard, what floor is the Nakatomi Christmas party held on?
Good question.
A, the 29th floor, B, 30th floor, C, 32nd floor, or D, she's a maniac on the floor.
I'm going to go 32nd. The higher up, the more danger.
I think it's 29.
It's 30th.
Damn it.
It's held on the 30th floor. It's mentioned a couple times specifically. In It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh.
Sean just watched this yesterday, so he better come with it on this one.
Man, I was napping too. So.
How much money is missing from the building and loan? Is it A, 5,000, B, 6,500, C, 8,000, or D, $1 billion?
8,000.
I'll go with that.
8,000 is correct. In A National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, what does Clark Griswold receive instead of a company bonus? A, a new swimming pool. B, a subscription to the Jelly of the Month Club. C, antler-shaped eggnog glasses. Or D, a note that says, "I've seen your mom naked."
It's B. He wants the pool with. That's what he's going to spend
That's
money
right.
on. But he gets the subscription.
Jelly of the Month Club.
Which, by the way, I had this thought the other day. Why don't they make Christmas Vacation into a show? Like a live show. That would be a great holiday show. On stage.
Television.
No, just on stage, like a play or like a musical or something. That could be a great show.
Could be.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah. I don't have the answer of why not.
Well,
I don't
come
know.
on now.
Right. Would you turn it into a musical, or you're just leaving it the way it is?
I think it could work either way. It could be a really fun, it could be a really fun, like, show gone wrong kind of play.
Oh, yeah.
Where, like, I mean, by the end of it, like, they destroy the set, the tree falls down, all that stuff.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Have your wife talk to Chevy Chase who she works for.
Exactly. Number 7. In A Miracle on 34th Street, what department store does Kris Kringle work for? A, Gimbel's, B, Bloomingdale's, C, Macy's, or D, Spirit Halloween?
It's A. They changed it to Macy's, I think, for the remake, but it's A.
Yeah.
You think Gimbel's?
Yeah, Gimbel's.
That is incorrect.
What?
Really?
Yes, it is Macy's.
Wait, Gimbel's is
in
Elf. Yeah.
Damn it.
That's right.
It was still Macy's in the remake of.
I don't know if it
changed
was
to Marshall
in the
Field?
I don't know in the remake. It's Alec Baldwin, right? It's in that. Who's in that one? Well, he's
Richard
not Santa.
Attenborough.
Richard Attenborough is Santa. I thought Alec Baldwin was like the lawyer or something.
But I don't know who it is. It's James
at
Marsden.
all.
Okay. James Marsden.
Giovanni Ribisi.
Probably Giovanni. In A Miracle on 34th Street, 1947. What legal tactic convinces the judge that Kris Kringle is Santa Claus?
Wait, did you say the date on the previous question?
I did.
I would have said Macy's if I was paying attention. Because I don't think it was Macy's in the first movie. Continue.
It was Macy's in the first movie.
In the first movie?
1947, it was Macy's.
Was it?
Yes.
What was? Okay.
You guessed Gimbel's.
Right, but I knew that was Elf. I got that wrong.
Okay, all right. This is the 1947 Miracle on 34th Street. What legal tactic convinces the judge that Kris Kringle is indeed Santa Claus? Is it A, child testimony, B, U.S. Postal Service mail delivery, C, handwriting analysis, or D, arguing with the general about the code red?
Postal.
Yeah, Postal.
It is. It's the Postal Service mail delivery. Number 9, in Home Alone 2, the second one. What name does Kevin check in under at the hotel? Is it A, Peter McAllister, B, Johnny Carson, C, Ted Kennedy, or D, Christmas McBallface?
A.
Never saw it.
You've never seen that one?
No.
You saw the first one?
You're good.
Yeah, didn't
The
love
first
it.
one's good. Yeah, the second one isn't much. What did you say?
A.
It is A. He checks in under his father's name.
Yeah.
What is the name of Scott Calvin's supervisor at the toy company in the movie The Santa Claus? Is it A, Mr. Carver, B, Mr. Bernard, C, Mr. Whittle, or D, Mr. Mom?
I didn't see that movie until the lockdown. I wanted to see a bunch of movies that I hadn't seen before, so I finally saw like Clueless and Mean Girls and the Santa Claus was
You
on
had
there.
never seen Clueless?
That movie is so funny.
It's really good.
Clueless is spectacular.
Yeah.
The Santa Claus is spectacular.
Hated
Yeah.
it. Nope.
What?
Lame.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Did you watch the first one or like the second and the third one?
The first one. I wanted to get to the third one because I wanted to see Marty Short as Jack Frost.
It's so bad.
Yeah, but I never got. I
Second
didn't care
one's
for the
rough.
first one.
declines and
even Martin Short talks about that in an interview that he was
diminishing returns.
Really?
Yeah.
Shame.
Anyway,
so,
Mr. Carver, Mr. Bernard, Mr. Whittle, or Mr. Mom?
I think it's Mr. Bernard.
Bernard is the name of the elf, isn't it?
Oh, Bernard is the name of the elf. You're right. So first one.
Mr. Carver?
I don't know.
The head of the supervisor at the toy company is Mr. Whittle.
Oh.
Yes. In Love Actually, what country does Colin travel to believing women will like him? A, Germany, B, Sweden, C, United States, or D, Titsmania?
United States.
Wait, what? Colin Firth?
Colin, not Colin Firth.
Okay, so Colin, the character Colin. Yeah, he goes to the U.S. because the girls are
That
random.
is the United States.
Colin Firth goes to a different...
I just want to commend...
does sound like fun
Titsmania
place.
does sound great. I just want to commend our knowledge of holiday movies.
Yeah.
Way to go, guys.
Oh, no, I knew all of these. Okay, this is a
you
tough
made
one.
the quiz, of course
This
you
is
made.
true. This is true. I did ask questions that I know. This is a hard one. This is a very hard one.
Now
Maybe I should
we're
have put
screwed.
this last.
I totally.
Maybe I should have put this last. Paul will never get
This is not last?
in. Nope. 3 more.
Oh, my God. Okay,
How
let's
the
get to it.
Grinch Stole Christmas 1966. What is the name of the mountain where the Grinch takes the toys? Is it A, Mount Curlet to hurl it? Is it B, Mount Flosset to toss it? Is it C, Mount Crumpet to dump it? Or is it D, Mount Pruitt to spew it?
I think it's C.
It's Crumpet.
It is Crumpet. I didn't think Paul would know that at all.
Is that C?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. It's Mount Crumpet. To the tip top of Mount Crumpet to dump it. In Scrooged, 1988, what network does Frank Cross work for? A, ABC, B, Fox, C, IBC, or D, IBS?
Again, please.
Well, stop doing whatever you're doing on your computer
No,
over
the
there.
remake of Miracle on 34th Street happened at a department store called Kohl's. Anyway, continue.
Did it really?
That was not the question. My God.
But when I don't know something, I have to learn it.
In Scrooged, 1988, what network does Frank Cross work for? A, ABC, B, Fox, C, IBC, or D, IBS?
IBC.
IBC.
It is IBC. 14. In The Nightmare Before Christmas, who composed the film's music? A, Howard Shore, B, Alan Menken, C, Danny Elfman, or D, Louis Gilbert?
C.
Louis Gilbert. What a dick. It's Elfman.
It is Elfman. That was one of our easy ones. That was originally going to be my practice question. I decided to just throw it in. All right, final question. In the Polar Express, what is punched on the boy's ticket? A, believe, B, faith, C, courage, or D, it's a handwritten note that reads, I saw your mom
naked. I think it's believe. I don't remember.
I think it's believe because there's that song too, right? That isn't the song that Josh Groban did from. Yeah.
Oh, it's believe.
Yeah.
Good job. Well done, Quizmasters.
Way to go, everybody.
All
Way
right.
to go. Well, I think that pretty much wraps up our episode unless you've got something else.
I don't have anything else.
I'm just thrilled to know that no one needed emergency care during the course of most
I am
of
too.
this.
I'm very happy about that, and I'm glad. I'm glad it wasn't us. Well, thanks everybody for joining us for another episode of the Countdown Movie Show. If you want to find us, you can find us on all the socials. We've got a website, countdownmovieshow.com, where you can go to thecountdownmovieshow.com. That'll take you to our YouTube page. Also, you can find us on themovieguys.net. Am I forgetting anything else?
Who are you?
We'll have a Fire and Ash episode as soon as we see it. And
Yeah, ask me about it later.
Ash me outside.
All right, everybody. Have a great holiday. We'll see you when we get back.
Later.